it may be December, but I'm like shirtless in the Brazos River, like splashing around in front of the stadium.
Just a little
Splish
splash moment.
Well, welcome to the Allegedly podcast with your hosts, Katie and Dakota.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, girl.
Hey, what's up, Dak?
You know, recording a podcast with this is.
Oh, okay. Cool. Just chilling, living the dream, living the life. So today I'm very excited because I have just like a good amount of questions to ask you about your days as a cheer superstar. So for those who do not know, Dakota cheered for Baylor University.
Shout out.
Pretty big deal. So I just felt like it was appropriate for us to like unpack that. I have a good amount of questions just about like the life and just some opinion pieces as well.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like I've been pretty far removed from the whole cheer space since my days. I guess it's been like 5 years now. Yeah, it's been like exactly 5 years. But yeah, it was a good experience. I have no idea what these questions are, so these will just kind of be off the cuff responses.
Yeah, so we'll just like get right into it. First question, were you a cheerleader?
No, not at all. But I was surrounded by people who were. Like I had a lot of girls on the team that had been doing it throughout kind of their childhood. I think the people when cheerleader became a thing was like when they were on All Stars. Do you know what All Stars is?
I feel like I do because of Cheer on Netflix.
So if you recall
like
from
competition teams.
Yeah, so it's a competition team unaffiliated to a university. So I think just when cheer was starting to grow, it wasn't considered a division sport. It wasn't something that was affiliated with any sort of school. So it was more like club teams competing in these all-star competitions. And so social media kind of was on and popping as that was growing. And I think people just in that space developed into the cheerleader that they were born to be.
Got it. So did you work with any divas since they were cheerleaders?
Honestly,
Spill the tea.
All the girls that were on my team were really, really like good, talented, and just like honestly, genuinely good people. I didn't have anyone that was like, but also remind you, this was a team that was 50% guys, 50% girls. So there wasn't.
That's intriguing.
I think that helped.
I feel like that's rare.
Well, it is. So at my school, they had an all-girl team where people who cheered their whole life, who weren't flyers, were able to still participate at the university level. But then these girls that cheered but are like 5'0", 5'0", 5' negative, like it was one guy for one girl.
Interesting.
And that made for like a really nice balance of like, we're taking this serious, we're working super hard, like it was just really cool.
Okay. That's interesting because I feel like whenever I think about cheer teams, I feel like there's like 3 guys maybe. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So they asked me to be on the cheer team. And then there's
like 25 girls.
Yep. So they asked me to be on the cheer team in high school because they were trying to make it more of a thing. And I wasn't really interested.
Wait, for high school?
Correct.
Got it.
And then I pursued it in college without really any experience. And everyone on my team didn't have experience, but it was kind of where these girls who had been doing it their whole life, who were capable of being single stunt flyers, were looking for guys who had participated in other sports or just were regulars in the gym. They were literally recruiting guys because if they didn't have a guy, there wouldn't be a place for them on the team either. So people who have like, I had never done it a day in my life. I was partnered with someone who has done it their whole life. So like, totally. I respected her and I didn't want to let her down. So
and she did not respect you.
No.
She's like, don't drop me.
Yeah. So
and
I don't know.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you get into it because you were recruited by someone, or you were kind of just like, well, like, I can do some cartwheels, I can do some flips, like, let's get in there. Like,
So
what was the deal with how you got started?
it's kind of a long story, but I'll make it as short as possible. So I had gone to kind of one of those university days where seniors would go visit the campus and do all that stuff.
Okay, senior in high school,
So I
obviously.
remember
Got
we
it.
went and my mom was like, oh, like you should be a male cheerleader. And I was like, like, I don't think so. Not really interested. And at that
Not the
time,
vibe.
at that same time, I was a friend with someone who had been doing All Stars, a guy who had been doing All Stars. And then
Gotcha.
also I was like in track, I was playing on the high jump mat, doing all these flips and stuff. So then 3 months out, I asked a girl in cheer to say, hey, do you think I could learn this in time for the tryouts? She said no. I gave it a rest. And then 2 weeks before the tryouts, I was like, there's another girl from a high school trying out. I'm just going to go. And so I practiced for
Yeah.
2 weeks, went, I made it. She didn't make it because
Shady.
but the skill level required was so drastic between guys and girls. So like any guy
Right.
that could throw a girl up and catch her at
Was good.
shoulder height, was good to go. And I could do a back tuck at that time. So like
You just had to do the basics.
yeah, and you had to show that you were capable of like actually advancing at the sport.
Got it. So what you're saying is, since I don't know how to do a cartwheel, I probably wouldn't make the squad.
No. Well, it's crazy because it sounds like whenever I'm explaining it, it sounds like it was like, if you volunteered to participate, you were on the team, but like we were actually really good. So it's hard to like explain how well we actually did because of
you
that
were just
experience
solid.
and that being the experience of a lot of guys around my team. So
got it. Okay. Yeah. So I know that you said that you weren't a cheerlebrity. I would like to know.
I love your like reading voice, baby.
This is my interview voice. I got my interview voice on. Back to my question, excuse me. So though you said you were not a cheerlebrity, I need to know, how did you doing the Baylor Cheer YouTube hype videos change your life?
Honestly, we felt like mini viral at that time. It was so funny.
And then just as a quick follow-up, do you care to comment on the water scene?
Yes. Because everyone asked me to tell you. So if you haven't seen it, like I've always been trying to like play with YouTube for a long, long time. So for cheer, I felt very, I don't know what the word is, but like every sport had a really dramatic, intense hype video before they would play the game.
Right.
So there was one game that got rained out. I made like a little 15-second hype video for Instagram, like during like the 3-hour waiting period. And then we went like a step further and made a really intense one as like a joke to just like, so there is a water scene where like it may be December, but I'm like shirtless in the Brazos River, like splashing around in front of the stadium.
Just a little splash moment.
But like as I got into my professional life, that was fun for everyone to find and see.
Yeah, I remember, I think an associate told me about it and I was just like, oh, I gotta check it out. And then I was like, wait, excuse me.
Yeah, it's always a fan favorite.
It's a full experience. Is it just called like Baylor Cheer Hype Video if people do want to go circle back on YouTube?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. It's iconic. So just wanted to know like where that sat with you.
And I'm like, let's not get it wrong. My body was tight back then.
Honestly, you were ripped. I was like, oh, excuse me.
Yeah. The body was tight.
It's the hashtag abs of it all. And you all know how much I love Dakota's abs.
Oh my gosh.
Never let that down.
That's hilarious.
I just had to poke fun at you for just one moment and just like really give publicity to the video that should be the video of the century, really.
Basically.
Okay, so next question. Are cheerleaders really that happy all the time?
No, absolutely not. It's hard to say because I had a different experience than I think what the poster like cheerleader had. for me, I didn't even necessarily have to like smile or like do anything on the sidelines. Like my whole existence on the sideline was just to assist making my partner look amazing, incredible, best as possible.
Right.
So like for
so you
me,
were pretty selfless your whole college career.
I would like to say so. So like I was clapping to the beat. I wasn't out there doing any motions or like, bobbing the head.
Were you like sick and bears?
I was. So I don't know if you know this, but I was the captain. Did you know that? Spit out your water.
Excuse me, everybody, but we just
breaking news.
PSA. We have a cheer captain on the line.
He climbed the ranks of the cheer world. So the way that it worked is we had a male captain and a female captain. And every year at the end of the year, we would vote for the next year. Mm-hmm. And I was 2-time second
cheer
annual
captain.
Mm-hmm. So I did it for 2 years. That's 50%.
Wow.
So, which is cool because like my teammates voted on that. Yeah. And so the only reason I say that is because I actually had to call the like cheers. So like every single cheer that we said, I started it, which is so like when I
You're the line leader, baby. You're the line leader.
When I tell you I had to become very confident in communication and just like kind of initiating things.
Right.
That really set it off because like dead silence. I'm watching the football game trying to figure out what's going on, and then I'm trying to like say something that would be appropriate to get the crowd to participate in that exact moment. So like
wow, cutthroat.
Which is, like, I'm not explaining it like it's the hardest thing I've ever done.
You're like I said bird.
Yeah. But that's true. So like I would say the whole
amazing.
First part, and then everyone would follow like at the appropriate like count, I guess you could say.
Got it. Wow, that's really interesting. So you were pretty much standing alone for a little while.
Yeah, like all you could hear was this voice, baby.
Would you ever get in trouble for doing the wrong cheer?
I can't remember a time where
were you ever like
calling defense on offense? No, I was not one of those. Like
you're like defense, and they're like, wait, what? We're on offense.
I never made that fumble. No,
that would be a pretty bad blunder.
Oh yeah, I would be so embarrassed if that happened. But I can't remember if that actually happened. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say no.
Cheerleaders really aren't that happy all the time. It's just like they get their show on. They put their little Vaseline on their teeth so that they smile the whole time.
I think like I'm not saying that they're not happy and it's a fake thing. Like I think everyone that I knew was genuine and having a good time. And like for me, I would just stand behind my girl and she was like dancing or whatever, and I'd be like, "Come on, girl, whip that hair around, like
get it."
Like completely boosting.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's kind of a vibe.
It was fun. It was good.
Okay, my next question: what are your thoughts on Bring It On?
I hate to bring it to you, but I've never watched it.
Well, this kind of like ruins my follow-up question, but it could still apply. Who knows? Do you have a spirit stick?
No, I've never even heard of a spirit stick. Not to speed through the question. But no, I've never watched Bring It On. I do know that Spider-Man's girlfriend is in it, the original
Kirsten
Spider-Man.
Dunst.
The best Spider-Man in my opinion.
Oh, shout out Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, never watched it.
Oh my god.
I know. So I've never watched really any of the cheer movies. I think there was another one where those guys joined a team or something.
Unfamiliar.
Yeah, unfamiliar with their work.
I mean, unless it's like one of the other Bring It Ons. I feel like there's like a lot of Bring It Ons. There's like 7. It's like they're coming up with a new one every year, and all we care about is Gabrielle Union and Kirsten Dunst. Like, oh my gosh, well, you gotta watch it because then maybe we can be the Toros and the Clovers for Halloween.
I would love that.
Well, thanks a whole lot for ruining like towards the end of my interview.
Are these other questions?
I just have one final question. I am interested in becoming an adult cheerleader, but I do not know how to even do a cartwheel. How would you recommend that I get started?
You know, we've talked about this before because you wanted to do cartwheels in your home. So I think for me, just take gymnastics class. I kind of want to find an adult gymnastics class. Like, I think that would be so fun just because I think I'd be capable of still doing it. And even if I brought someone that had never done anything before, I feel like it'd be a good time. You know, you would learn some body coordination. You might get a cartwheel in. You might get spotted on a little back handspring. Hit some 5, 6, 7, 8s. I think for me, an adult cheerleader, you like in my head, it's all gymnastics, you know, that's kind of like the foundation of it. But I guess buy some pom-poms and
start cheering for my daughter
megaphones
when she goes to the bathroom.
Hit some motion.
6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
All right. Well, would you say that this interview hit or no?
This interview definitely hit. Can I squeeze in like one more little flex?
Absolutely. Flex. Put that arm up, baby. Put that arm up.
So I I don't know if you remember this, but after college, like right before I started working my first year out of college, I went and tried out for the Indianapolis Colts cheer team. You vaguely remember. It's all right.
No, I just forgot to ask you that question. That was the magic question.
Am I a professional cheerleader? Am I a pro cheerleader? The answer is I was for a month. I signed like W-2 forms for like the Colts organization, but then she started working professionally and her schedule was Friday through Monday, which basically meant I would participate in 0 football games. So like what my plan was to work like 5 days, 4 days a week, depending on like what they were going to give me, and then fly to Indiana to do that every weekend.
On the weekends.
Because I mean, everyone had an actual like 9 to 5 Monday through Friday job. So it's not like I was going to miss a practice or something. So she made a professional cheer team. Shout out me.
Well, congratulations. You are much more of a celebrity than you really let on. And you know what? We're really happy for you.
Thank you.
I sure learned something. I hope that everyone else did so that we can all...
This is basically a boasting session.
So that we can all cheer on Dakota in his future endeavor. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We hope you have a great day. Please follow us on Instagram at allegedly Katie Dakota, Dakota at Dakota Ethridge, and me at kt.hen. You can also check out Dakota's YouTube video, Baylor Cheer Turn Up.
Hype video.
Baylor Cheer Hype video on YouTube. And, you know, for more recent videos like his van life excursions, check out Dakota Ethridge. I hope you have a great day.